This is Boahen TV. Truth and integrity.
Safmafu ye kronfo ne ma ya kronfo Boahen ye kronfo ne ma ya kronfo Akufado ye kronfo ne ma ya kronfo Kenoforiata ne ma ya kronfo ono so ye kronfo.
Afenyo Markin is calling for equity.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the MPP as a political party are so patriotic to the sense that they care so much about Ghana democracy.
Sinina Afenyo Markin border sum no oye nipa. Afenyo Markin is not about the law. Baby am person mo di asem ne nante fa no. Ye trazy asem no nante no. And we are to even get the energy, the infantry to write a letter no. E just am crofo so di sika ne bi kan ne ho.
Hey, yeah, some na ebusia why you can imagine Yaa Titi, Listowel Ivan or Maclashe. And then I wish I ebesi ejankwa eno mo eto. Yema mu nyina kwa ba Family Body TV so. Na first time at phone I mon subscribe ye nyina ye like video enjoy comment into ye we are na ya share the across social media platform so John Dramani Mahama 120 days then why Yaa Titi aboyre mu Ivan aboyre mu Listowel aboyre mu I na uhwe sika ban dada twemwadi I nei omo yet say Ghana for mo like they care about Ghana like democracy for mo omo pese mo ye bibi kire say omo doman Ghana na so bra omo teso no mu disika Boahen abe reply say sika ni bi omo ka no omo di tua MPs allowance Yaa Titi kire say we kire say Boahen enya kokudura chiraba no kire say woni nipa bi ne di sika no enya onu kwa ne di sika no woni nipa bi ne di na da ni ha na plus be ka say ayi attorney general ejije na obeka asembi sisi ya silence plus ya silence no woyo mekaye ya silence esi woyo mi asema kwesise nti omo buye fa so sa
My videos my catch say video there e no lie. Yeah, my video I just save the judiciary demonstration na a course so no enema bebre sisi ye ya bobo bi kira wo discuss ye but after that enema esisi ye no so ya bobo bi so akiro the ama me say Ghana Police Service asem we me nche wo ho but me monitor mo very closely because asem we me wo interest ewom because ye Ghana fo no ye ni police fo nya asem a Sabe yen honorable enter ye hu ye din ho no ye ni police fo nya asem a enche na asem no ne aka wie eti se asem kro na bisi na se ya akoye bibia police fo e wo se ye hwe ne ebisa m kosa enti eno anpa cho ma me Ghana Police Service ene ko mo page anopay o say 8 hours ago wo mo post to ade bi me kan sa de kro na wo post to ye ne e de a kirew na asama me pesa me catch Ghana Police Service no you understand where I'm coming from so this is Ghana Police Service or say Ghana police update on alleged assault on a police officer during a recent demonstration. The Ghana Police Service continues its investigations into the case of an alleged assault against a police officer by Honorable Alexander Afenyo Markin. Following a request to the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament by the Criminal Investigations Department, CID, Honorable Afenyo Markin reported to police today, that's on the 7th of May 2025, to assist the investigations. Investigation has also commenced into a petition received from Honorable Afenyo Markin alleging he was assaulted by the police officer concerned. Both investigations are ongoing and the public will be updated as the case progresses. We aya Ghana Police Service uko mo page anope ya de yakoho and I say no ade da wo mo page no so na nam dia to TV no so ama no those of you on Facebook and no na da so no the ama me pesa asem we me ka bi very simple. Ghana Police Service, be careful. Because me, you monitor me very closely. Where? Adia be a besi wa Ghana hebiano. Obia wa kwan obefa so obeti ase. Banyama ni bi wo honom na sa wo ya emantiasia ni luki say we dear ase ya kwa this direction. The ama asamba me pesa me ka bi na me ka che CID mpanyimfo enyina CID boss anope me tagewa e was so ati ase de ntia me tagewo because wo na wo ye panyina wo da CID ano and it's CID boss Lydia Donko anope me tagewo na dia me pesa me ka very simple say yam pesi ya beti asem foforo say afa de polisi fo akoye wiwemu na afa ko wi akire no police officer ni momodifo na honorable Afenyo marking de ne de because ade na matchura to mu page ho no keka kɔ ho me ya sure say Ghana ni a wonam ni baabi no oka demonstration no eno ne police ni enya asasem na me nya sure say nka CID for mo ba ha me ho kura say obi the petition kura ba na mo kowem video na ada ho no enka no kasabla ni pakura kura de ka wa ne ho adwuma wie enka mo ye ne ho adwuma wie me sra mo say mo mama dwen nya me te say de ya me no mo mama dwen enya me te say de ade na mi hu ene ade na mo pesa mo ye no. So honorable Afenyo market cho petition akwa IGP say police ni no ebo no eno me ka bibi kira utie honorable Afenyo market nsem o tworo ye na utimu say ono ankasa nim say asem na o ka no ensisi so because ase police ni no ebo ne bo my chest obo ne bo mo hwe na mo fa video ne to so ma me ase police ni no bo ne bo ama okotu mpo say National Service mrantie bia wo mo ho ebebisa ne sa honorable na wo ho te sen ewi akire no parliamentary parliamentary clerks bia wo mo ewo ho no wo mo mom eneja wo mo be fa ne de ne call restroom parliament clerk wo mo ho ne be fa ne call restroom ena okope baabi no die se nyanyame a enko collapse ye eno me bi so no Afenyo market say obi a ya pem obo wo ya collapse ni no wunya energy fufro ni post ni gina ho ye yisu born asum enti at what point na post ni di ka bo wo busu enye nyame anka wo collapse anya national service fo bi na kopa nsuo bere wo anya ayi parliament clerk bi na be fa wo ma wo koda ye wo restroom enka wo collapse wi enti samra no time na see na ni aye so see because so what be nya ahode gina wo na so ye we ya ene bia wo mom na di ka bo post ni no so bo ubi yes because obi anya bo wa wo collapse de energy be na wo benya de ye sa de we honorable Afenyo market anya ho atworo petition akwa IGP se post ni na assault no me pa chow time at democracy hub wa mo ye demonstration e wo krom ha ya si Oliver Baka voma wo akotu posi fo ka kidi adwane oduru ba bi otu safa ne to twene ye no me pa cha de na asi wo krom ha Oliver ya de ne tu mu fie na sen na watwe dodo sen ya pre-bill kwa ma no kwa ne ya si ya ma no posi fo mo ma na nyansa posi di na Afenyo market born asum no oye nipa Afenyo market is not above the law. And now a member of parliament into one what me bu post ni fa no hudi ba Ghana ni post ni nya asem dia ya asem wow adebu awa mama ya read meaning into some of the issues wa we video ya hwesisi ye na Afenyo market say etimi nya kokodro tworo petition koma IGP say post ni abono na post for say Afenyo market ba be kan side and on the side no so all kase post ni assault no and no see obi anka say ma munye investigations but mama na is so obvious say I say Afenyo market ya MP I a politician and teacher say oh no mo treat no special no ade bi o ha mo nya ma ho na ho saa ordinary Ghanaians aware na ya mu use ma yen Ghana for me me ordinary Ghanaian me me nyintu but aware na ya mu use ma citizens of this country say ordinary Ghanaian say Ghana ni bi a onya politician a onam ne ba bi no ni post ni say ya me say police service say e ka sa ade we ya ye hunti nka be koso eti kanipa kwa nke yanche no eti kanipa kwa samre on dem ana eti Afenyo mark ye politician ti eya MP ti onu watimi abu post ni no wi watimi asenya nwode kwa ba be kase post ni na abome abra video no de ba ye nyina ye hu suppose ni de ne saka no onu mom na bo post ni na so simply because post ni ne ye na djuma wo we ba bi Afenyo mark ngiran ene ni pa egu na chi enye wo mu nyina na waso wo mu wuram post ni ne ade barricade si wo se be ya wo no sa wo nko na waso wuram abesen ko na ade na mu afa so wo bo post ni na sum wo se nya ho de kata akwakoma IGP so post ni assault ni ne de hin so aka say twan na me ma wo wuram nya abotre ene ya assault na na say de hin na Ghana police service asem da ho pefe asem ya da ho pefe Musa person bo be reading different meaning kire yen mane kwa ti say post ni no wodi for but say Ghana ni a onya politician woni post bi a me ya sure say kamu tie na no asem kan kan be che no post ni na Afenyo mark bo na so no onya nipa ho onya nipa ana Afenyo mark ye nipa che obi ho Mumba niamba bi hu na hosa CID boss di adonko de wa mpe wasem no mesrawo case we ya abai e test case ma Magana for ye won suppose for mo ka dokre senior policy ni se ayi amroba o se BBC e wo policy ni hu a enche no ma chi nipa kro ba say your policy ni na bakwa akwa ye obi bibi ana aye bibi ho sa de no wo ye ne muntam dada Magana for susu se trust issues e wo ho. And in this case, video in that way, or being chilly baby a person in the train and some Afenyo mark assume. Somebody should tell me this is the video. Media men say me once and say very quick when I am quite some men say me once and say Afenyo mark in Kilemu say. Post in no so one chadio so I then you. No, the bone blow shane a book. And then you may collapse here the Casablanca who Afenyo mark are your obituary. Enti awode ben na afa di Afenyo mark nya yo di this adwumen what's asem no it's not adding up because obia wo say obo wo wi no okotare wo say okotare wo say I lean beside a wall say hwan ama national service di bi dimnika di nso brew owi ani abafa wo call restroom ema wo kwa die empa cho nyam na meka o saa nyam nya ndo abeka nkire wo na wa Afenyo mark letter na wa tworo nim na wom video yi su na da wa ya wani abra post ni chasa wonhu dia wonya wo ho enti wo na ade ka ball no ana no so ball wo nti na maka wo collapse na na say I don't know which is which wo za se bi wo ha ya na mma ho da hododo na post fo anya ho asem we mo soso ya me Yaa Titi na me post ni anya asem asabre san ki achi mi o ki achi me da ye ntie ma no asem driver ni truck driver na mkwa ho eno ni post anya asem ka ya chi truck driver no kasabla wadam ya muwa ye ntie wa no asem go and check people complain and for complain say post for chi wo mo twa truck to wo so asem a enim no o mutimi ka moya sana moya ma ya ji sa asem na di me say police ni na Afenyo mark na assault na wa boda suma enu na da wa ye nyina ye hwabie no police ni no wonya nipa na ana Afenyo mark is above the law ya nam traffic mu keke kra hwede ya MTT di fo ye wo beka wanum asem a wo wiase nyina ebi wa kra wo kra admit say mistake no wa ye na wo pachew ade a police ni de be ye wo no ba me won impossible for yankrofo bia me fili o mo me pe o ma sempa you know why o madwuma na den empempi no emre bia na me ye program na adwona me pon 10 nti bia wo ho a medu fe bi kwa na ekobo 11 na police fo bi gina Legon sa the Gwa filling station na say total I mean, there's a filling station that was Legon sa first gate no they be call per second no there's a filling station I don't know say girl or so now post for area checkpoint wo ho me do obi a metimi gya no mo bonko madam Moska na mama mu bi ba dia ba ko eto da bia ya pa ne say Police ni nim say asem a wo ka to so nye no kore as wo be henham officer of the law or share uniform tinu ahunahunam but edu politicians so anu aye din eno na mentem ase no say na mutimi ya hard e wa ye ana na munya hard wa politicians no so asema esi wo police ni Afenyo ma kentamu esi wo ani odihye bantam akasabra odihye oni adwuma mu ha ki ache no eya me ya ma no odin ya akasabra kwa mo hwe me ma chifuturo ka mu hume mesi ya hwe kwa no democracy hub for demonstration no mo ye no see ye one more police for susu say one more demonstration kekeda no mo ye o ede na kwa wie ye ebi koda nsawam ebi koda nima police station cha say ya chechi wo mo rough from Oliver crowd ya ne dia ya was because ono de da bi o say na sem two police ki mo de nam ka ki ene wo de nam odu ba bi ototwene ye ya che no ya de ne ko he odamu na wo twesen na politicians, member of parliament, acting and South Boposini assume was saying what the actual letter Bramo say, Posini assault me, and ya inviting them, and yeah, investigation, and yeah, na intimidam, and I'm coming to some about Posini assume. Miss Ro, was she uniform? No, Miss Romitim Monasum. Nipa be any Yasakra may meet Matrim and Sasame Bonipano. For what reason? Who bought before then? So a domino trim out Bobiade. Ubo obi ayeden na ade ye da hoi mo ba sam so asem no so makoye bibie ho okay maka cho se me asem we interest wom police ni na Afenyo market board asom no oye nipa Afenyo market is not about the law baby a mo pesa mo di asem ne nante fa no ye trezi asem no nante no mo amanye se mudu nkwanta no so amo be mane muni ma mo nkwaten me kwa ye di machi ye du nkwanta no so na mo mane se krim asem besi wo ha ye nyina ye de anu batum ye de anu betu because Ghana ni fu post ni na mra ye adwuma politician no so fu post ni amamra ni ye adwuma onye ni panche obi a very simple na yankwa enra me won say asem ashase a ekoso ye be de no ho nkom na krom ha pa so de to de bia issues ni bi wa wote ya ho na wo yam du brim enra anwumre ena yesi obi hye Yoko for office as a national security office and what $1 no what dear Pia Bontin and Crofua or be a can be. Yes, you have a kind love letter ni be. Then you may woman, yes, you can ye are near what's your can ye becca. A simple cry. Yen I am said do Boahen. Attorney General every semu. And no the cat Pia Bontin, Smith a document and not TV no so mammy. Na me wa questions bi a maybe say do Boahen won say lawyers na mo person mo e ma do Boahen case no essay no sa attach aka ho mo ntu attach afo de mo ye no mo say bra ni case no mo say bra ni case no because yenya lawyers kra no document no you can use your common sense and analyze the whole thing. Because another information ka ho no mu rafi mu say Ghana for ye nim some information no anything na san ya ma we or share national security so share yoko so share he what chura dia ba abonten no asa monya ahoden asa dia koma national security coordinator Razak say wanye na asa wanya de wanya mu we mu so on friend wanye o se de den mo mama di na ho mo fa document ne to so na me de to so how dia wa to obo so be screenshot you so be kan bio but mebo asem no tofa na wate ase enra letter na e ba ye no me summarize the bawa edu Boahen person o chese sika na ya bo ne ho ko adu se wafa no sika no ko ye adwuma bi a chese enyo no ko na di pedi o kan chese sika no wadi bi be enyo no ko na di ye etitie na sam o tworo ye wachoka ta dia ba say sika no obebu nkunta amiya wu ba bia sika no ebi koye enti expenditure no de di kan nie o say 9,537,000 Ghana cedis echo ISC holdings as part payment for specialized cyber and electronic surveillance system owi ya en was say 6,900,000 disbursed to personnel and operations supporting national stability and counter-terrorism efforts. Owie no say 960,000 and 309,000 provided as allowance. Hana Crawford started our more raise issues. Yes, we have raise issues. 960,000 and 309,000 provided as allowances to MPs on the Defense and Interior Committee and the Subsidiary Legislation Committee, respectively, during the passage of the National Signal Bureau Act and its associated legislative instruments. 8.3 million reportedly allocated to an opposition party for procuring communication equipment to support election results collation. Oh my goodness. 135,000 Ghana, 5,135,000 cedis allegedly paid to the special aid to the president-elect for the purchase of high-end vehicles, including a Nissan Petrol Platinum and 2024 Nissan Petrol Platinum, and a Land Cruiser, and a 2022 Land Cruiser. Me pacho the sikano wa this version nyina e de aba. Me pacho ehemfo na na wo mo committee no so. That was 2017 to 2020. Me kan enu wi a me be ma act na kasa na makansi asem so mo hu say Ghana ho Crawford the pen bokro no wo mu wi na ma be yete say we say wo mu nim nyansa kire dipa bia. And Crawford no mo eda committee no so enie. Members of the Ghana Parliament Select Committee on Defense and Interior between 2017 and 2020, Chairman Honorable George Kofi Arthur, MP for Amenfi Central, says Oni Hobiem. Vice Chairman Ernest Kofi Yaka, MP for New Edubiase. Members Honorable Cletus Avoka, MP for Zibila East. Helen Ntoso, MP for Kachi West. Honorable Peter Tobu Lanchini, MP for Wa West. Kofi Adams, MP for Buem. Mohammed Bawa Brahma, MP for Ejra Sechedumase. Dr. Zenato Ajimaroles, MP for Klote Kwale constituency. Ranking member James Agaga, MP for Bulsa North. Where members are 2017-2020. Wamo Ewa Defense and Interior Committee no eso. Now take me to the act itself. Na me cha art no. Time wamo approve ye. Any juma ye ka say art ni medi. Quick one yan kon intentem because issues no doso. International Signals Bureau Act. Ubiemwa mame kwa first page. Oda kwa page 3 hono no. Scroll na kwa page 3 e ho na ade me pene wo. Ye kan wi ade aka ne de. Ye betimi atwa so. Where Act of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana entitled National Signals Bureau Act 2020. Enti me pacho e kira se emra na ye ka no. Ye wadjuma e pass in 2020. Now, Emrano any passed by Parliament and assented to by the President, National Signal Bureau. Establishment of the National Signals Bureau. 1. There is established by this act the National Signal Bureau, referred to in this act as the Bureau. Object of the Bureau. The object of the Bureau is to provide an integrated signals system for the national security and intelligence agency for the purpose of the security of the state and protecting and preserving the unity and the stability of the state. Ejuma poti ayedema National Signal Bureau enono. Mebacho among functions of the Bureau and to achieve the object under section 2. The Bureau shall monitor, collect, analyze, retain, and disseminate in the secure manner information and intelligence from cyberspace, electronic media, electromagnetic signals, and other emissions and any equipment producing such signals to counter threats to security or national well-being, prevents the commission of stop a serious offense or deter the commission of or establish and maintain a nationwide information and combination of connectivity, networking, encryption, and any other security measure to facilitate secure intelligence sharing among security and intelligence stakeholders. National Signal Bureau, Wamajuma no Wamoye, very simple. The last time Lawyer Chumberry Mato ne Bokra Chirimu, Emia Wajuma no Wamoye, Wamobwa, Emma network, as Yadebe monitor your security system, Ewa Ghana no, Wabajuma Yadema Wamasu Wamoye no. Mama any part no Modasa committee no so. Now, Tie, assuming but not admitting, say, committee now, a defense and interior committee now, what parliament no. Sikana edu Boahen kan wasem say womo ede koye no to pass that bill no mani be ye act because president in Sasha asenti ayemra act and no more a bill me pa che o sa sikano na wo he menti ase ena no adu bia Boahen no na ne position ene sen ena no ye in charge of sa sikano. That is my question. Because ya pass act no ni nyamba yi ni power beda no enti ebeye dan na edu Boahen atinya ye in charge of that sika no akwadesbezia ma parliamentary select committee. You see, when you bring something out, think twice because people will analyze it. Just use common sense. E wa de we hu obe analyze na simple ye lawyers. Me say assuming but not admitting say sample netia na edu Boahen in his capacity as who and as can be fan so now what kind of some now baby wa hono ma uyem be hyew na no be mo hu se Ghana ye wo problem papa ye wo problem sa obi a ono ye de o maye adwuma ama no ono timi create account one na yiri timi kabom create account and the account no e operate ma ban anyam na make ono anasam no twra baaye no ewom me pasa me kai that part no ma na fa wutimi ti ase Ghana pa de nyame ne yemboafo sa account na ye kan ho asem se eye ne personal account no o se samra no sa kan ne yere na no ye signatories to that particular account no na eye account a se bia ye pesika kwaya de ni manimu ya no na I want to ask so enti abai entimi take charge of another account to say or pe bibia ye bibi animanimu ya obetimi akoyi I just say individual be ekoye signatory to that particular account and send yetimi ayisika wom enti honorable Atofo wo as a finance minister bibia si emergency ni e pesika akoya enti Atofo ontimi nsan Bank of Ghana governor entimi nsan signatories a was almost sign Emma Ghana yetimi yisika no me pa cho saafo no omuntimi nsan I just say independence citizen bi otini baby and I was ono ya mani say 2 minutes say brabe sign ma on mine no create account ma yen well oh ya ade ahun think twice say ade ya me ye obi wo hono ma wonja lawyer obato de brofo be chirim wo kai enra the document no de ba ye ni nyina wutimi say lawyer say that mo tu le fo mo client no mo anhwe ya mba na da bo che because or making issues in the west. And you see that particular account no cry ya kan wasem yes we close to 2023 enti eya dan no timinya sika wa hin eno de ma president elect bi de so amfa nkoto ka account ya close to 2023 ya to about December 7 2024 ana the bank oh you see Adebo ha manya wa adwen se wo pese wo ka se man kofo yem hyehye o mo se ntro na wudi a wa akasa kra no wo man kofo wo se wudi ntro we na kwa chro Mr. So and so ana Messi so and so a wo ye aid to the president elect me man sika se emfa nkoto ka ya to abawie wo krom ha na nya ha ya na nyina ye te na president Mahama no ne odi Ibrahim Mahama ka se nam NPP for cry Afenyo omo be dade te so omo JM ho eche wo bia even jet ya no odi tu kwan na Ibrahim Mahama jet enti time na omo koto Land Cruiser ana time na omo koto design awurade Yehowa Yeah, to us. And you see, Mame, Attorney General video, no. I don't want he exposing him more. You know why?
By mistake.
Neniama na wa listening nyina no sika na ye se e fa ne nsa se wo Ghana water no e no wan ka ho asem e kire se adu bwan wo ye kromfo wa wi ayen ada na sika no wa disburse na de ya se wo gi free Ghana water ho e ya ban sika wo se kwa aban account mu no e kwa wo company private company account e no de wan ka ho asem wo de release video ni etie Dominic oh dia me person bisbi se adu bwan ne se sika na e no so na e ya ban sika services are no providing my Ghana Water Company Limited no. Say sika na was a bank account mu or then a private account. Edge says sika no and also 1.3 million every month. What can see a nkran ye gukrom ha. Mama Angel lawyer adwen kireta na afa mema to aso lawyer Paul Kumi ewo ahoma no eso lawyer good morning.
Good morning.
Me pa cho ho ye de
na do me ho ye
de nyame ase ne de kan wada mama me na ase ne wada agya no pa anyway me ya sure say enra du Boahen letter na ewa abonti a obi e kan bi no wa kan bi we comment on it ansa na ya to aso
that's the big there was any need so about the amount. The kind of near air cost between the Attorney General and the Boahen case. May share that in chat here. You who near Attorney General no episode or yet. I expected a saying. Be a bank a bank teacher and now will be a bank teacher. What you ever move? I go who a Japadia or the bank teacher estimate at the IE. The info over something meeting the time. If you want balance of the organization press conference, so walk at now we can get it. Young company do one in that's what the money for mobile center no into Yeda. Yes, you didn't get it. It's not so I believe you. Yes, all year as an attorney general, that is what you're expecting to do. You, as a lawyer, you can get conviction in the court.
Okay.
In the court of public opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who organizes press conferences? All these things are not necessary for us. And say, Odipano, Odiganabo. Ghana, where we are, if you hold on one, you will see me up for a video, and you just Ghana free hold on one. And Japadia, or this large Genesis where we are, right? You will see me at the end of the so. Naya Tong, and Naya, the Abay, you can know our fano, or the Dia program on it. Ah, your name is Ategya. What Yakin? Ah, but I bet you the yes, can on our side, can abandon. Those are the things that I say, yeah. And there must be things which you have a certain level of confidentiality. Young here who need what the American
Matthias, your lawyer.
Not a convert, a do Boahen in his own intelligence, and not and you have to be a chair room. Why not just okay? Make sure that you give one common national security at your head. Now, national security has to do for whatever reason you put about the trouble. What exactly are they telling them? What is time for making the best for? Now we are there. Because a do one, I tell Mosaic and be first any view. Then we are discussing a way, anyway. Oh, sir. Okay. Thank you. I heard about this and say, why now there's Ghana question in some, I don't know, behind the things so.
Yeah.
I will keep it confidentiality to the discussion. And the possible for your operation so soon and so. Now, your master for 400,000 Ghana cedis. Let us see. So, we decide to create their money. Now, why in the way that you can look
a question in some?
A question in some. If you brown that ball for committee, for community, Ghana question in some. Here for Kumi. As I said, or the secretary at the amount. As I said, the center will be yes, Zimbabwe. Or this is kind of amount, not see or yes, I can say. The Banifan and Wulu give as you cannot. Because signal zero and 3 months as you cannot. What's the mechanism?
Matthias here.
They are 25% of oh, there be oh. You want to say, hey, dear, they can't have some people, man. I tell you, buy. Therefore, as soon as you were announcing to a year, Jubilee out. No, catch them say, in paying for a world Jubilee house, you know. I can't get a pay or walk a signal zero to say, on for Ghana for money. If you're this Ghana bread, you know, that means the same paying for you to any movie.
Yeah.
If you remember how the corruption was operating. Say a year or no, I do Boahen and no way they are all yen. What I do want air catch will say. If you didn't say, make me up for say to go away, you know, a friend say, oh, that you know, I won't let you move out.
Watch your home.
If you are not necessarily so, yeah, now we invite the former a friend saying, oh, that you know, so on that general. This is what happened during the time now or no. Did you at any time a friend say audit the signals and your friend department and now or the army? It is that we are not here. Some for internet, some for water, Ghana water and so one particular issue, every time you with the rods are area underneath. It will involve many people. Not your senior again. A friend say, I support that corruption activities there over no. Now, most around the general radio, 20 TV, Wakatasa, Nasa, the lawyer, and to give some advice in another thing. Now, for toilet, they at the national security balance, they have a figure. What kind of starting thing is this? What do these people take us for? Now we are waiting at the end of the day, 1 year conviction, like a position.
So
do all these things, but you may not get conviction.
All right. So lawyer baby what kind si mama to so ho na me misa sem ba ko wo kan ne letter no kwan ya ofa so a sika no o cheche mu se ebi kwa ha operation calm life ne defense and interior committee GB na opposition party bi kura no omo GB de kwato kwan be I don't know machines omo de be collect resources omo de be ye den chesensem na waka no bebre dia wan kan wasem transaction na course so between one Ghana Water Company Limited. Now, there may person me who any. I do Boahen assembly send your city. One my young was asked at Abonte, yen ya discuss it. A man no crabby a was and Pia was semuno ayana.
I can assure you it's a beta. Because they say all this information about for would be about to public, you know. All the persons not only involved. Say possible say you want your baby movie. They're going to prepare and ensure that they will get themselves out of any trouble.
Okay.
But if those people didn't know the information say any action at all. What from now when you interrogate your one because some of the issues will be the first time but you are making hey I pray for contact the action for so they will not be able to really organize their thoughts and know how to answer. But if you are so public, you know, that person is going to contact 1 or 2 or 3 people. Say, Unia, and someone do what I can if I'm home. It's about your premier, make a kind of thing. So those people will also, if they are criminally minded, tell him how he should talk and to get himself out of trouble. So at the end of the day, you know, if you now come and say, somebody was carrying I am wrong because all the people are denying that there was any such money given to them. If you won't say the corruption attempt that your person is what here no. By this unnecessary press releases and publications or putting in public things that are supposed to be confidential just between the client, the lawyer, and the institutions, you know. So you have to see this out there. What is the purpose of putting these things in public? Okay, yeah, but then that information now, over the accused that say, I do want to say what you say, I do want to what you say. And now what you talk I said, I do want to see down, I do want to say, oh no, yeah, company beer, I didn't, and your friends say, signal zero, you know, I have pet. You got a part, now I throw me the cup of tea, on the year. What can I say, and what's the other day? Yeah, you for, yeah, of course. They don't have a two, yeah, mom, 10 years, and I life imprisonment. And what are you telling us? What is the purpose of all these needless press conferences? Who is first one? If I always say, no, I didn't even like the way you were handling it. If you look at this idea, say, he was even suing you for defamation.
Yeah.
What am I going to
Sure.
Then you end there, then you come for the second round. Out there again. So that I can't just get it. I can't just get it. Is that how is that what he's going to do?
Okay. Lawyer, ma menti we ya say kakra. Asem bi e wo court. Na asem no fa no bi so wa abonten a. Ensusanso oban na de ba asem na e wo court no so.
In the first place, you know, asem bi e wo court a. And then you discuss it that no. I would give you the man a subjudice.
Okay.
If you look at the subjudice, whichever pronunciation they give to it. But once I send about the court, you know, you come, I prefer the court in the boat. Court in the boat, and I say, oh, I tell one and answer what which I can watch. And now the idea announced a bit in Yaya Amasa at Timuano, Apo, a Condiso, na Amma, Bato Abayina, and Chano, Rock and one set. Number one, that 7 years before the court, you don't have to comment on it.
Okay. And no, lawyer, what kind?
You.
But we're not pointing at our canon.
You. So the point that I'm still asking is that only you know about better press conference is being in we are for the 7 ever court to be one now.
Okay.
And I say again.
Okay.
What exactly is his purpose? People got to say again. I don't see it, and I don't think it is professional enough.
Lawyer, okay, and run a document now the buyer no or can acquire more fast so more disburses says you can in every and watch say account no more can once say a year on in a year and a year signature to sa account no and on the object to Musa no cranabo sa account no or mo be a say beya e bia bibini no more pentama pesika and the aquacoya bibi and not say a quantum. Emremu no say a buying sika ye de kwaye abanya juma. Individual bi ebetimi aye signature to sa account no ama ban eye one ne yere
ye wo asendia ye ka ese wa kire ni papro so wadi boni bi na ni papro no oja tu anase ne kase mu no oja tu se sa je no ampa wa ye elo no oboni efren confession.
Okay.
If you know, under your law, you know, the OB a yes confessing statement. As a first confessing statement, you know, Onya OB are obeyed no idea to say, and for same way, at some degree, on one case, I need payment, and ya do be share no, OB and no, OB and money promise to be an amount, one case, I need payment. Now they are can't you. So when there is a confessing statement made, now it is confirmed that Ampani Pakona Kasa they can't answer me without any direct or any threat or such as I don't know a solid point about the Pakon the conviction.
Okay.
It is a good one here about the cancer. Legitimate say, many may be another separate account. And that no need to buying a ticket be Ejuma. Only 30 minutes of the year Ejuma. That's also some particular activity now in the year. Was this something that was officially known? Is it officially sanctioned only this time? So these are the things that you as a prosecutor will use to further your case.
Okay.
And make a better case against that person. But when that person gives you this information, then you can't put in your opening now. That's a net. Everybody said, no, I didn't want to work with problem. I'm not even aware about it. And I've been a story. I didn't write. I don't know anything about it. Because said no, this thing has been typed out. So is it the case that while in the Yoko custody or whatever it is, I do Boahen, you know, when you're trying, he has had access to a computer. That computer at the brain, no, I type it out. When the computer at the brain, no, and no signing and all those type of things. So the question is, what is it that is going on at Yoko? And I'm going to do Boahen. What's your such a release? And which is even having, how do you call it, a cover note from me lawyer. So let us do things that at the end of the day, make it a bigger hurdle at the amount of prosecution in making it safe. I don't understand what is happening. What kind of life is this? What kind of attitude are we bringing into our criminal jurisprudence? That we are now just using the press and releases and all those type of things instead of confining ourselves to the court where the actual game is played.
Say I'm sure you Edu Boahen ade we obi abewi o mani sika owi a ye chena wow because one say na me bisa questions be say ante na kasa ye ka ho asem a o se eno ho sika no mutua e ma committee no saa tam no na nyo no na ye in charge e ye de no no mo ne kotua sika no e ye questions e was ye bisa wo and Afenyo no Ghana Water Company Limited sika na was so mutua de ma wo mo for services ano mo de ma wo mo no adan one for bank account wanye no de ono ne private account je ye okay for now eno de won mechire mu se sika na bi ko bi ho eno no nya meka ho asem na bom 48 no eno no aba be disperse abo bi anya ne hye now tie Ghana for me hwa de ye te ya na wo yo mi sika bae ena wo yo mi ka sa mo jeje me a mo di sika ne bibia mebo mu din and asam no wo court na ye komsi na asam na be hange ho e se wo yomi asam ye ni ba bia kosi obi am update ye biem se sika na he no watua se ne property e sizi ye no na ne value ya he wo yomi bo antira ne se sika no obi odi bibia obeka pekprem and asam no ye fun abuga pele mokai President Mahama ti ase idea buga pele kwedi na sem one ayin ko ne ho mo ko tu mu no I say proud to say Akufo-Addo be yi buga pele o kan say am person obeka bibia na mo gigi no obeka sa no kasa nso obebo mo di sika ni bi eti ma me ka bibi nchiro Ghana politics na ye no any panyufo ne ya mo position no ye Ghana fo ne was ye sore ne ye boy adwen ma wo mo say mo ntimi nka mo mo wia ye sika na mo wia mo nsa ma meto asem ne mayente se de asem no wow I don't be to even get the energy the infantry to write sa letter no e just nkrofo bi so di sika ne bi kan ne ho ni nkrofo ne bi anka ne ho no won say no no anka ho asem Ghana Water sika no won say no anka ho asem o bye kono de a osusu se no no e bia so masi obenti obi hu wom obi so di bi no eno de na no den no waka no wasem kirachirem Ghana your problem na hwe wono careful say anya careful de asem beba obi timi hwe nyamiam di pen awie sika dodo a ente se obi wi abanche ne bode ya de ne du kwato anasam no ye ni be se 1 week wo ho asam ne ya ka wi ne ebu anfa no wakodem bade ya ne pen wi ano yase ano de evidence and one ye de asam ne ben wan na asam no ache oh God of mercy nyame hu ye nyina mobo na se ya na yase ye be kode ya ye be che wo kwa mu pa na kanya sa obi a wono abo manya bro ti sei wo say nya ahoden da yo e tworo lete na wa tworo no so odo common sense to one there are so many loopholes there are so many questions what's the nipa bisa audio
120 days of President Mahama in office. Even if you take out the numbers, now had the atmosphere in this country, how some so far no the 120 days of his governance has been able to inspire certain confidence and hope in even the investor community. And now has said the city stabilizing this kind of way. Clearly, even if you don't like politics, if you don't like the government to cry now, you need to cut him some slacks. Indeed, there has been a significant change happen in this country. And if you go on various platforms, so where comments people are making about Ghana, I can rat track, because the 120-day social contract, estimate out of the frustration and the concerns that Ghanaians had prior to the elections. Na Ghana for bebre esen ebubonuyam because of the way and manner things were happening. We got to a point arrogance abaye the signature way na underpinning politics in this country, where you see executive man for the two mom were taking decisions. Those decisions were seem very unintelligent and very foolish. But we are Ghana and nobody will listen to you. For instance, the E-Levy Boahen came. Ghana for in a concerted effort rose against this particular thing. But the Omokachi and say they will pass it. And several other nasty stuff went on in this country. You see, governance sometimes it's not just about it's about how our government is very responsive and receptive to the concerns being raised by the people of this country. So we are buying now. We are being said media metitable whatever your concerns are, no, just bring it up. I will look through and try to do something. And then the Mahama administration, the last 120 days, a lot of people, even a lot of critics, are more marking A, B plus because it's a professor day. Or say, even if you are enemy of the government, clearly, because there is no sensible mind out there. Only what has gone on in the last 8 years. Now, within the 120 days, there hasn't been a dramatic turnaround so far as the entire governance of this country is concerned. For instance, now you can about the huge size of government. Akufo-Addo made us understand, say, we needed a crowd. Say that particular assertion edify existing theory of modern governance. Talking about efficiency. Go in efficiency where you multitask people. One person can do several jobs. You don't need a lot of people. When you pull in crowd to a government space, you only create avenue of inefficiency where people will just take money and nothing happens. And truly, Akufo-Addo could not defy that theory. At the end of the day, his government turned out to be the most useless government in the history of this country, even though other governments are setting up the largest number. So we are President Mahama now sitting in the sideline, now promising the people, say, I've seen big size of government and any impact be so far as good governance is concerned. So I will cut down the size of government. And truly, that is one of the key things that he did. Slashing down the size of government. Apart from the economic benefit, I came with such bold initiative, me say it was symbolic relevance to the people, because when Nehemiah were going wayward, everybody was saying, I didn't think Akufo-Addo and downsize his government just to ensure at some point in time, Oko Jubilee House, every single person be a gallivanting, be a huna or a presidential staffer, and these people were taking huge sums of money. People were traveling, allowances, car, and for fuel. Then as for no more deco. Sanyama Winina came on the states and financing the inefficiencies and the fancy fixtures of some of these jokers who were just masquerading around the corridors of power. And Wabanas were cutting down the size of government, apart from what that symbolic relevance, and also feeding into the Ghana for because these are some of our concerns, and the government has listened to us. So for me, I think it's a good call. And again, the offer 120-day social contract. Now, some of the basic initiatives that he told the people of this country, all of them so far has been implemented. And most of them has to do with significant breakthrough. For instance, now make coders way, and the world is going digital. Our country try to reposition the young people to take advantage of the digital economy that is emerging. And it's a training people in IT and as for. We are not only training them to equip them with skills, but rather giving them an avenue to go to the world out there and exploit. Because if you are technologically savvy, you can survive in this digital inspired world. And we are not drawing back, we are going forward. You understand? This Ajumawura initiative, young people, that people have entrepreneurial skills. How do we ever saw sabi or monso betimi abeye job creators and not job seekers. And if you go to our universities, people come out of the university, everybody want government job. How much? An average in Ghana has a what take salary 3,500. Now what's Accra now with 3,500? How can you survive? Now with a Koware, now with a Bob Brabe now the bebo. Just be a chrono now the bebo. You understand? So if you are becoming a job creator, now one kasa in terms of entrepreneur and as a forum, you become something valuable. Recently, me who lady be not one of the private schools. Yet 800 Ghana cedis. Then I convinced her to stop because Nensa eye, otimide nensa ye cake in as a forum, and then she agreed. Or abandon school no. Now, just say.
No,
the boldness to do that, no, but then I know frame me. Oh, Jaya says, oh, yeah, the cake, and then you could see that within a month, she can get more than 2,000, 3,000. That's so cheap, baby. I know she's not trying. You understand? So, if you're able to create job, not a man for by job creators and not job seekers. These people will go extra to inspire others and so forth. In creating economy, that's what you do because you see. The economy a grow a aggregation of all economic transactions across the country, both private and public, and come together to grow economy. When transactions exchange hand and as far and a grow economy. Now one person here where we are going to bank account more. So for me, I think that John Mahama has so far set the stage, and some no catch the Ghana for so by he's working. Some of them are just implementation, though we need to monitor their progress. But for me, I think that significant portions of those promised because he was very specific about 120-day social contract. And for me, for instance, this levy betting now one of the major concerns and I Ghana forward because me send this way better from your bank account to wallet, from wallet way this near my way you know a man for and take part in this digital monetary from now some of these Ghana for you could see say I am ready say I will listen to your concerns. I am very receptive to the more party. And again, one of the key also has to do with institutions then as a form and Chief Justice Sharia Baya Semia. And na Ghana for to about to reset, Don't forget say key component of it the institutional weaknesses and to the sense that we got to a point all major state institutions when you now were cowed into subjugation, operating at the behest of those in power. Because court, for instance, there are some court not a favor government as swiftly the Chief Justice will empanel. Say any other institution where police for a demonstration by any yakopian bagu almost near Braman for chairman for Gufom Oliver Nini as a forum on several occasions slept in police custody as a for they were denied bail omunkoku nipa omunko the war that they did they say enkrofo kobi omo wa ban no mu e2 galam say and sase enti ye demonstration jail it what I say but then these people, it's minya kukudo to see a demonstration, actual petition, the common president. And I make I say these are a bunch of shameless cowards. Nobody should take them seriously because in just few days ago, not nipa intiminya demonstration will chroma say. But then now a certain atmosphere has been activated. As spy hope jan man 40 million once you are operating within the remit of the law, nobody will come after you. So if I'm sitting here and I'm judging President John Mahama by his 120 days, I can say so far so good and personal decision regarding some of the things that he's taking. For instance, with this code of ethics here Olanchi do you know said that aspect is sitting in our constitution for so long no president has even looked at it. So at the end of the day people get to high offices of government in as a forum and they think say office in a bona fide property. People become so much arrogant to the extent sabi nipa no ya wadam for crana no who na okasa no because all of a sudden when you to me yes that is how your friends say unwitty some of these people are. But I will set up these red lines. Now catch the people say office in media mamono. Central to everything that you do is humanity. Don't speak to people in a way on their necks because the government must appear good in the eyes of the people. Because I can just say it is the goodwill of the people that will sustain and fuel the sustainability of whichever government. And we are pointing, kasa boom boom boom. Who did the amount for them? That kasa fee about radio, so that arrogant speech in as a former. I know the day, a government and I wouldn't a form because a merabas Ghana for the catcher say enough is enough. So who be look at what happened in the Akufo at the time. Not because the country was going that bad, but the attitude, the intransigence on the part of those in power. Asama bombe timia bi o mono Kenyans asama chire nipa na nipa TV so ke kan kwase asem sabi e chire Ghana for. When you do these things, at the day you get people angry. Governance, me say the central key is humanity. So say nipa na ba ho so obepem wana wunni bia kan kasa da chire no. Don't insult people. Obi Frauna say your friends say why you busy? You can send a person a text message. I'll call you back. Those kind of because of what you there, man. Obi am a frau. Once you occupy a position, people will come to you. It's natural. You understand? You need to grow and become a mature person and know how to deal with some of these things. And if you cannot do it, just get out, go home. What you fear? Obi no
private business.
Nobody will come there. But because you occupy a certain position, a position in the dini peba that is the mistake people do. If you are sitting in an office as a CEO and people are coming to you, they are not coming because you are the CEO. They are coming to the office CEO because you as a person in there, you can go and come anytime. And the office, there is no single officer who occupy or now now even the presidency now, President Mahama baby Rollins and 21 years. Rollins and so you must be narrow-minded individual to think that me power. And me obi minti Akufo Addo betina kromo se ye money chenzo na wo hefa okọ party ase a akonwa nam se we su kra note so first on na na akonwa di na chi so exactly enti wo ye nipa na se wo ma wadwen eye adwuma na hu say governance power ni nyina is about serving humanity. It's an opportunity for me to be at the good side of people. I think that will be good. So I'm happy President Mahama has looked at this key thing and he should make sure say any appointee be anything be identity the credibility of the government, that person has to be sanctioned. Sabaya Ghana for betimi anya hope say and who things different because you see the scars of bad governance Akufo Addo on our conscience, they are so fresh and so reminding. So some appointees be and the omo a reminder of those dark way na. I know the day I say yakoya na ya buy. And my culture say democracy the last leg of Ghana democracy jina so this Mahama 4 years. Say nema nkoya Ghana for abandon democracy completely. And that is the caution that we need to keep it at the back of our minds. If we don't take care and sustain and fuel the trust and confidence people have in the political establishment, so-called democracy this time around, now we lose it. We will lose it forever. Because look at how Ghanaians are cheering a cool leader in Burkina Faso. The gentleman is a cool leader. Ghana for some things such a situation because you see over the years the democracy try some idiot quote unquote abenya power and so people think if we go the hard way but for me I think that's all the best. Why if only we will do it and do it well. But unfortunately in recent times doesn't show sabi Nema be way and we a president you need to realize Bakacha said human being bad. No human being was created to be good. We were created to be bad, but you learn to be good. And this, if you fail to learn to be good, people will collect to their destructive best because that is who we are. So we need to weave framework. Papa, these are the red lines you don't go beyond. You understand? Tetina na emrani hona na yetino. Obetimi da sore those hunting and gathering days, If you were curious na wunni aduana na hu se wunua no owa aduana wo ha. Wutimi koptwa jato ne dan mu na wahye no wasesa ne nua no. That is what they were doing because na emra bibia ni ho. That is the core sana ni party. Whenever ho kire wa you will do everything to survive. Even if you have to kill the other guy, you will do that to ensure that you survive. And the emrane nhyehyɛ and ɛsɛ da hɔ. Sabaya obia betena and do your mind na wo hu saa ndeɛma no and we video framework and structure to regulate human behavior. You should know say every human being has potential to be evil. You need to take away incentives and opportunities and manipulate evil. And by doing so, you create effective laws and red lines are if you cross there are consequences. Nema akoso okroma corruption and asefo agi nyini nyina say the state has been very reluctant in dealing with some of these things. We have never been combative or very frontal in dealing with some of these things.
Yeah.
So for the first time, I want to see, and I can say I see different John Mahama this time round.
Yeah, I think
somebody who is very bold, precise, clarity of thought. There is no ambiguity on the choices that he makes in as a forum. Because you see, as president at this time, you have nothing to lose. At the end of the day, people are not going to count the number of houses you have, the number of money you have in your account. People are going to judge you based on the legacy you leave behind. So you need to make that imprint on the minds of Ghanaians. Say by Ghana for Befeo, you understand? Sadia na nkroma be ye ne obi ade kai no because metimi akoyis lego akotem akohwan menim ba bia nkwa fie every day the name nkroma ring a bell on our conscience because onya power no wamfa medi nsem hunu akofo ado nya power okroma say no say ye nto nwom. This a gentleman all beba power no na man for abra na obekọ no na makola for manya no mbabo no for matche no because of abrabobone a obebo e okroma say so power no a very powerful tool. Either it will make you famous or use it to defame yourself, depending on your choices. So as president, I think that President Mahama being president before and having the opportunity to come back and on one kasa tenase no look through the mirror. I know say he knows what to do to survive because at this time you don't allow anybody say obesami agugarim as president. Because Ghana for they are maybe nima appointee bia, we nima appointee bia. No, nobody's looking at any appointee. They are looking at the president. So you need to be very strong, very assertive, very decisive, and very precise. Obedience, you go after. Nipa disika make sure say you the person who face prosecution jailer manenko many profession say government no enye avenue e dey pesika ene umo obi position first question be say a juicy position na wo border wo bia na wo ko bia
obi say had the scan hakra
exactly so the mentality to go and sell is to go and make money. So we need to weave framework. Then as a foreigner, especially this time that a lot of young people are coming with a lot of your friends fancy dreams. As a foreigner, one check your muye whenever I answer a man for sit down by here this or musi and need na by your mind seeker. Me say this time round, no, we cannot tread back. So it doesn't matter where you stand across the political divide. We will go after you as a country because a sacred responsibility to ensure say we protect the estate and we are Ghanaian. Your allegiance should be to the flag of this country, to the constitution, and to the people of this country. I'm gonna paramount. Anything is secondary, and for me, that is what we need to do.
Okay, all right. My young call Boahen and no letter now, love letter now. What should I buy? Biama security. I ain't saka be patchon. Near woman, medical boss on a panel at the actual. Or see 8.3 million was disbursed in September 2024 to provide an unnamed opposition party with communications equipment for election coalition, justified as ensuring stability of nation, national cohesion, and political impartiality. And until or say opposition party be. Among the 8.3 million Ghana cedis, Emasa opposition party ni say, all fan koto equipment. Minimum say, yeti Ghana hano abind to equipment ma political party be a tini baby sefa koto equipment ebe quality or resource. Eti anu wasem no say 960,000 was paid to the Defense and Interior Committee, and it say yesha Defense and Interior Committee no ya one man also from 2017 to 2020 they pass act no and now say ya one man also from 2021 no and na say na can the Japan chairman I think 2017 also no na obi me refi me boni din actual also na no committee chairman was so it was say committee no so be hu say sika no mo sa kan bia na say wo mo sa anka bi owi e was say additional 309,000 the Koma Subsidiary Legislation Committee no Parliament. And also Wasem Enonom. We are 5.1 million was spent on luxury vehicle 2024 Nissan Petrol and a Land Cruiser. Yeah, just say special aid to the president-elect 2024. Now say special aid for President Mahama. I'm working. Say 2024 I know a president-elect. And also eka niema or less no and was 9.5 million was for cyber surveillance solution and Afenyo 6.9 million for Operation Conquered, first counter-terrorism effort between 2020 and 2024. Mr. Boahen say, says K, Wamudi Biso Echo Operation Calm Life. Tama no amo say Operation Galam Stop. Tama ni asi yen stop Galam say na Ekufado ete task force say omo eni asoja fo nkabom no mo enko stop Galam say no sika no e won so ebi ekọ ho. Owia no ka say one ne yere private account na abamu ne de. Wamo seti sa account ne say e bia aban pesika bi hyehyehye ni manimu ya no na mo de akoyi free sa account ni individual person or sign yima aban. All right, innocent.
Yeah.
Edubwa here for the love letter they are benye.
Mama menka say you see agro wa manfo ni so kroma I say we don't even need to be discussing some of these things but abanasa because makacho say you know we media no affizity on sensational news, those kind of stuff. As my brand can hear complete nonsense. This is your friend say in summer we need to just trash it and because in some kind of say nyansa be him and I doubt every no bar I'll be very surprised. Because me I think it's one of those diversional your friend say taxes na for them. Even let's say some na all can no correct.
Yeah.
Negate the fact that monies were stolen from state account. Doesn't negate the fact that he cloned state bank account, transfer money from this account to this account, and at the end of the day, no, we cannot find those monies. Isn't it the fact that he bought estate houses? He paid cash $1 million. Has he been able to tell us where he got those money from? And this is absolute nonsense. You see, we invest too much in emotional politicking. So if you know bad, don't deal with the fact. Sway the whole nation to the emotional line, you will survive. And that's exactly what is happening. At the end of the day, National Signals Brew, and your more finance opposition parties to buy is absolute nonsense. And the opposition party, I won't country. Be bold enough and see who you gave the money to. You understand? Even if you gave the money to somebody, even in the NDC, we don't care. All we know is that you stole the money. And we want you to account. The other command, financing and that is not your business. You see, we are not living in a banana republic where monies can move from one account to any other account. Let's say there is a legal framework where monies can go. Baby, anything outside your mandate, or your mind and now say you have willfully caused financial loss to the state, and this guy has foolishly caused financial loss to the state. All that he's doing is to implicate a lot of people because the very moment he's able to rope in NDC, communicators, me say, man, then we've balanced the equation. Then the focus will move from Boahen, then some more crime opposition. This is absolute rubbish that nobody should even consider. The questions I was is what we need to. Monies were given to you as director of National Signals Brew. Monies, you cloned and created a separate account bearing the same name. The criminal intent alone can land you in jail. You're not supposed to do that. Then the gentleman went ahead to transfer money from this account to this account. What is his explanation? Says state in here is emergency or what state account they will transfer from You see, we don't need to give oxygen of publicity to some of this nonsense. See, yes, I party seminar. Me say on my way bebo. Because people will steal and will always find a way to spin narrative. Sabi about survival. Because never na brand na ya no crash as sabi onim nyansa. And na catch on because explanation ya obai. And the not so obeka. Sa attach ya na kan yo say why na kan yo. And you manufacture this nonsense, push it to the media, and you want the reasonable men of conviction in society to say why are there. No, so what is the motive behind this particular thing? Or beka when ya kasa there why are there na? Because you are not supposed to be financing political party within the operations of winning and again. Are you supposed to finance your friends in parliament? Parliament through the Sika movie, why not the moment? And you were doing as for them. Sikana or the Kokoto estate in as for them. I think that you see, this thing is absolute nonsense. Focus on the Attorney General. So you see, there be a Ghana General Siciano. Adia baako ama Ghana for to abati Akufo-Addo aye corruption.
Yeah.
And Ghana need every single reasonable minded person out there is suspecting say the John Mahama government will be very radical, very vicious in dealing with some of these ruthless criminals.
Yeah.
We don't care how you do it. Once you are within the remit of the law, you make sure that these criminals, these organized criminals, don't get away with their crime. It doesn't matter how they try to spin the narrative. In the coming days, they will be mentioning names specific, trying to accuse and implicate individuals. I don't care even if you give money to John Mahama. I don't care. Because anyway, you want to this movie. What I say. So how you wasted those monies in as a forum? The Ghana for you nimni say yeah this ukoji sikasa with the quarter surveillance equipment.
Sure.
In the end, you didn't buy.
Yeah.
You ended up using the money to buy private properties. And I wouldn't send him Santino. You did all these transactions using bank account, doing transfer. When you know say this transfer no or always leave a back trace. Now say obia akraketo akra or primary school grab boss and kwasi akra no way. And this weak-minded person was the person mining friend said the whole intelligence organization. That tells you how porous this country is. If this weak-minded individual and are now in charge of the national security, it tells you the kind of national security that we had at the time. They are just exposing themselves, and I'll be very surprised if Ategya as a person went through this thing and let it out. You see why recent time people are losing a lot of respect for so-called lawyers.
Yeah.
Because you see, a lawyer is not about the degree on paper. It is about the clarity of thought, the reasoning acumen that you have, and how you are able to decipher things. Who said, "Never way as a way a reasonable men of society will not agree to this, they will impugn it, and once they impugn it, our integrity will become a casualty." If you are a lawyer and you don't look at some of these things and you think it's just political, we can just spin and throw this thing out there, me, I will see you for who you are, because when I see you next time, I will never respect you. You understand? But unfortunately, the Ghana and Kwane Kaso will be school. They just open didn't want answer. I just acquired them for certificate. The answer. But yeah, you can't be a learned or be a very intelligent. You don't need a certificate. When the person open their mouth and they're talking, you should be able to know, this guy is very smart, very intelligent. That is all that Yako Koko you. Now, yes, I just certificate be do one answer. And that's nam no, we have to go between nam. What are some American? We really need to be very serious in this country. Attorney General, when the prosecution are dealing with Ghana for a form.
Yeah.
That's not how ready they are. Say abanye now issues of this nature, you toy with it. Now they don't go through with prosecution. Trust me. After 1 year, the government will get dirty. So they need to do everything to ensure that these criminals and several other criminals out there, we go after them. Yeah, it's not just this one. Now, make sky training as a forum. Attorney General should make sure that because these people getting them prosecuted is so easy. Because even how they conceive those stupid ideas enough to land them in jail. For instance, yes, a sky train. Training the numbers as a cranny. And do more dama. Yeah, over Tenase as a board chairman, the pen and see papers. Oh, Matthias, Yamon Kofa, the Edinburgh William Numera, Chroma trainer from crying Nibi. So that silly conception of an idea Nankasa is enough to land you in jail. And at the end of the day, they went ahead, pumped $2 million into an offshore account. But see, sky training your mind. Now, who jail will hear easy. You see, we need to begin to allow people to suffer for their crimes. For instance, now make about the National Cathedral. It's one thing a buying a giant that I will never forgive them. Because we all saw from the beginning. Even young men in this country they don't hold PhD. They are not lawyers. They are not medical doctors. They could see from their house that this was a stupid initiative that the state was venturing into. We have and now India, in terms of technology, rise to a point and America, most of the companies are outsourcing most of their jobs to them in terms of IT. And do for a bank, me person me who me bank balance and as for now you route to call to somebody in India or never more responses and as for because those jobs has been outsourced. Telecommunication companies in as for if you want clarity, they will route the call to other places because these people have become technologically savvy. People are taking advantage. So we are Maya. you train your people to take advantage of the digital economy. Ebano. Ye de enya sika no. Ye se de kosi cathedral na nyame de bone ache na wo mo da ma adwen we ye the 12th century en fan tena ha say. That is why I told you say. Ye no yakofa o ye fan say we are living in a digital world and yakofa nipa o mo 12th century and e omo ba begum and omo di nsem hunu mayen enti cathedral sem na e ba ye nya sofo akasefo mo bo aban kutupa and 58 akoshiagu mahu say yes ye audit na se a single silly decision that was made. Me, it is not about sikana yasino even ideas now. If it is foolish, we need to find sanction people for that. And for me, that is what we need to do to set a stage. Say, so we are CEO, we are government, and as the on my bibisha wonsa.
Yeah.
You cannot be taking foolish decisions. Are those decisions, you know, our high stake implication on the fortunes of this country and get away because you are CEO? We need to make sure that we punish people for their crimes. So, Attorney General, there. Or somebody, I'm telling you, because if he doesn't go through with this prosecution, every will be Ghana. I'm telling you, because the heat that will be coming, or regret is over here, your friend said. I'm telling you, because Ghanaians will never forgive him, and I know he will do. So I'm cautioning him. And I'm also urging him, sir, he should go ahead. He should not lose focus. Some of these things coming up are absolute nonsense. Some of this nonsense being manufactured now. Be coming up, but he should be very careful, stay focused, and make sure a single person be our enough way on him will be prosecuted, because that is what Ghanaians want. They want the judiciary to be sanitized. They want criminals to go to jail just to send a message to people within this government. Say, also that is the fate awaiting you. You see, over the years, people sitting afar are coming to a conclusion. Say there is a certain collusion between both political parties to steal. That is the impression out there. So if you don't do that, then it will go to your friend saying, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. But we saw how these people stole with impunity, disrespected the people of this country. Make sure, say, even Ghana for more sika investment, these unwitting criminals cannot go scot-free. We need to make sure that we punish them for who they are, for what they have done against this country. Sebaya going forward, you know, Obiabe who say or minor, Sebaya because Adiaba kwa your minor fail to punish crimes. Or minor, so we state that there are two things you cannot do: show weakness, show mercy. The very moment you begin to do some of these things, you are done. But Obia will take advantage. Oh, the Mahama, the Betchay, oh, wait there. And Chrome has say, Assemsia now, software now him for Nam Dance no Mokopacha. President, you can never come to me so a pacho. Because I don't know about that jail. Oh, because Assembly and Semuna don't come to me. Now you know whom and him cry, you will not even come. You will not even come. So So we need to do that. South Korea, are you aware that Omo president? The whole president. This is not the first time. Previous president because of Samsung way on jail, and several other high stake individuals in other jurisdictions have suffered for some decisions that they made. But Ghana, how people go prisoner or you hear near or be contomere or hear near or comedy now. Now people are stealing with millions, and the same poor people in the name of emotion will come and they'll be singing praises for some of these criminals because a party for Nippon what I say. We need to protect their state and some of these things. So some of these things, you know, a section of the media will be spinning it in a bid to justify for some that kind of false equivalence and as forth. But you see, no smart or witty mind out there will fall for this crap. Nonsense is nonsense that has been manufactured just to sway the focus. But I am urging the Attorney General to stay on his ground and make sure, sir, he prosecute these people. The prosecution has started. He should not waver. He should go ahead and do it. Some of these nonsense will be coming about.
Because we run a letter now. The one can the transaction between Ghana Water Company Limited and the private account.
Yes.
Because 1.3 million Ghana cedis every month. That is that is 1.3, right?
Oh yes.
Because 600,000 Ghana cedis, and then what's a for every 2 weeks. To Kaboma, that's 1.3.
Yes.
Yes. eno de wa nka ho asem because eno no na wo se sika no kwa ban account
yes.
but ono je sika na no wa short check no wa divert the akọ ne private account
yes.
Services no so internet service no aban dia
yes. And you see that you no appointee even President Mahama kra any right to move state money to his private account for no reason, and nobody should be defending these things. I don't know why people are able to find energy and conviction to defend some of this nonsense. The mere fact that the gentleman cloned account and signatory to those accounts account, that is criminal intent, can be established, and you need to suffer for that. So where you transfer money to, say me ameti here in America radio now finance me, you cannot use that to wriggle out of the Niama why. What I say na American say. The mere fact is that Niama na woyano were in direct contravention with established rules of engagement, bad books of the government, and then you have to be dealt with. Simple as that. Baby, as Sikano coin as if we can later do with it. But for me, in some kind of question, because when I was here, say, would Sikano Kotia Israeli company so how come they never catch and say, oh, the financing way? Sikano move from an account to Todano Kamasem, where he was able to pay for those Sikano Kamasem. Nayere properties are only in her name or Kamasem. A job man Ben and all you come here, or to me, any Sikano. That is why I make a choice. This lifestyle audit, we need to be very, 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 very way. Many property
yeah.
As people are in government today, we should put surveillance on every single individual. We are pushing money to properties they are buying, and their strategy. Most Ghanaian politicians say they will steal money, buy property, and they will put it in somebody's name.
Yeah, often it didn't. So
no.
So tracing it will even be difficult.
About 90% of Ghanaian politicians steal money, they buy properties, and they registered in relative or distant friend their name. So we say state, and that is why we have intelligence distance. Say state near ready to delve into some of these things. You'll be able to find out and deal with them, and that is the best way. Some of these things for me, I won't fall for some of this nonsense.
All right, my make sure o message is one or two na Afenyo Ivan Sobak. Ebenezer Mokto wudin de em say e ode she no tabo ne ye ema wo say no krepa e na mo kano ya Tracy Bensa wo say until I see these criminals NPP going to jail, Mahama, you are not doing anything extraordinary. Yes. I swear.
Yes.
Conscious agbenu akosu wo say I trust innocent na niaje wo say osi de kobiti na o kae no na ne age ho a wo hu do yi na Tracy emu de hi na am wani abra wosire, but I think say Tracy asem na wa chro no deep. It will take a deep minded person to understand, because that na make say Ghana for by a troye no ora na na Ghana for any abra to abado vim ne ade to abado na na ora because ye nim se nkofo bi awia yen
yes
na te say the innocent ken ya chi nipa no ahia se no obubodi we ka ho said the be ya ebe yet say ono kwa na nko onye ahio na wodi sika ne manipa na adwen be na tachi da wodi sai sika wan na soma asafa sika ma obi when the papa mu aka we o se de to bolem na ade bi ma parliamentary select committee na ade bi ma ahwan yo ye to twere bolem intention nkwampo ye criminal
men feel no you see way I old playbook if you go back to Colombia
why me dey anya za no kan na mo jijimi amebodi na aye kwamsi na asem na
and then Colombia, Pablo Escobar days. Do you know what he was doing? Or turn drugs, or couldn't pay a na or chama here for. That was what he was doing, financing poor people. But it doesn't justify
exactly the point.
It's an old playbook criminals have been using. El Chapo in the offense in Mexico. That's exactly what he's doing. They will sell drugs to destroy people, kill people. When you see what you feel here, what you bring $1 million but does it justify that?
Not at all.
The money is a crime money. You understand? It does not justify it. So the Attorney General needs to sit up. There are a lot of I know be framing. Also 120 days, whatever. They don't care about anything. All that they want to see is to see these criminals in jail. That is the only thing that matters to them. Until that is done, nothing is done. So yes, because we saw what happened in this country. Yeah, Nippon movie and some comedians are for crank and Now when you nipa onimiansa no sen wiawo. Now sign edinana na boni so di nkrase sem san chirawo. And that pain na magana for say these people must go to jail.
All right, John Kwaku Sabi was Ivan is a great guy. Joseph Dawumo. Also, good morning, big man. Yeah, that's say. Yami Inshabu. Oba no wa follow, no wa share. Na odo comment out to us. Ni akenkai Eddie. Mami assure say demonstration ni di hun koma. Grofo match pass ya wo mukoyi. They said the IPM eye sumbono.
Yeah.
Aha, it says sumbono na ye case because. Video na ba ya nyina ye hu bi ne de Afenyo market de bob post ni nasum ba Afenyo market krata o tworo ye nra me kan ye no wo say post ni no na di kan bo no bo ne bo sa na afi na koma loko nyame nkwan collapse ye national service ni bi na bre ni nsuo na omde ne ko twere edan bi ho e na parliament clerk bi be fa no de ne ko da restroom enye san ko collapse nke beti no aye obituary ene ensem a wa tworo bebre nti sa no onu police in the di can born na because you say after asumbo no onya energy to aso koye de na obeye nti at one point no koda restroom at one point ye bre nsu anka wo collapse
oh ye joker and America say you see Afenyo market is a joker you see in some now can he's rather exposing himself. So he's saying say the police officer na born asum na command ke yati and ya fa na edin so ko bu nsu na call na oba onya hoden ba na bobo police officer. You see some of these things, you see you are not maybe not doing so in a political campaign platform is now because there obi an check fact you obetimi ato agum no afa hoadi. Yeah, the fact is say we are talking about somebody who is a sitting MP, minority leader of parliament. You see a police officer in a uniform. You know the uniform symbolizes authority of the state. The person, you know, because of the uniform he wears, you know very well. Say, who are we? Remember, I don't Tom. We MP. What's now on Sabon assume in a video? The best thing you can do is to just apologize to the people. You don't just try to spin the narrative. And you see, that is the old playbook of the MPP. Maybe I sometimes I'm surprised people don't see these things. I don't know what an issue is. You see how they are spinning the narrative. It's the same thing. This thing has happened. There is a video circulating. I am very bad for his image and then as a forum. Yet he's trying to spin the narrative. And there are dogs within the media who fall for some of these things and they're also pushing it. The fact is, why would a sitting MP attack a police officer in a uniform? A police officer no say nya wona go ye demonstration ka maho. Yes. And now Afenyo Markin is calling for equity. Yeah. All of a sudden the MPP as a political party are so patriotic to the sense that they care so much about Ghana democracy. Say Ghana for answering na NDC ni John Mahama say judiciary. Now me say since when? And omo sense of nationalism and patriotism no ebe wura since when? Koyatena Kroma in the last 8 years, Ahu Sabium Kras, Sama president appointees in Niamaya, Kroma saying they did not only threaten the foundation of our democracy, but endanger the very life of our people. We saw overriding tampering of our judiciary. Appointment individuals are any more quiet for staffing, not just the Supreme Court, now High Court, your friend is saying. The appeals court individuals are you do see obiasem na wudi tie nipa kro wi na yabawa baso na atamno da kosi Supreme Court. Whole lot of nasty stuff happened in this country at that time. No Afenyo Markin and Co could not save our judiciary because it was okay for them. For me as a young man watching these people from afar, I see said these are fancy jokers out there that nobody should take them serious because we've gotten now me can say Michiro has say now I'm on social media we said that video were trending. The funny aspect of it and now man for air share but the impact of the message the people are now getting me say generation we don't threaten people me MP and I said me say generation we know I say I'm on for a pen mouth social media now before no I say mama watakra na man for you on the tell people why you have to be respected. Tell people why this thing is not good and they should not go there. Don't threaten people. Say say. No, that shouldn't be the impact of the message. So why yes, I now we think say because you are just an MP and for that matter people respect you. You will end up in the gutters because people will see you for who you are. the mere fact is MP anya the infantry and the power to attack a police officer in uniform, and instead of you to apologize, you are just trying to spin the narrative to make it look like the gentleman attack you. Your narrative doesn't even make sense. It defies logic, it defies reasoning and common sense. Because what's Obama when you brew and I found no call baby and the Kodo now buy and also so boni be an answer say does it even make sense in any way? So for me, I think that these people should be disregarded. Omono Nana Mekacho said the NPP has now become a sinking enterprise. It's a party that is going down. Instead of them to elect reasonable men of conviction to bring the party back, there are a lot of intelligent people in the NPP. And Mekacho said Obeti se boachi eja akone sa adanimo hwan ala na se for. These are men na uti omonum kasa you could see say these are men of substance. These are people who should be leading the rehabilitation of the party, not an emotional stricken individuals who come, they open their mouth and they get people angry the more. MPP by oppositioning, Ghana for are even getting more fed up and angry with the way and manner they are acting. Because they become so much combative. This is a party that was known to be a party of intellectuals.
Yeah.
Mahama Basia, Abadan station boys, Omo Kasao to Kra, Otinchana Osima, Osianfim. But the intellectuals no more party no more.
Yeah.
All of them have been relegated to the background. And all of them have become insignificant in the affairs of the party. And they are liberating quote unquote this bunch of emotional idiots and destroying the fortunes of the party. For me, I care about the MPP coming back as a strong political party to be the opposition we want them to do. You understand? But as long as they continue to allow these jokers, these attention seekers, to continue to dominate the news for bad reasons. Now, at the end of the day, the party will not get back. Opasa what's here? Sa niema mo fa to mo so na nsenso mo koye thank you to.
Yeah.
Unse wie na koye se kantwe na meku me wo ne na se for. Ekosi say they've suspended it. It ended up in another big dog fight. Dog bite dog. Kennedy
Abronye.
Yes.
And
dog bite dog. Exactly. Yeah. So this whole thing, you see how. So we are nipa now party. You should be worried. This is a party under Kufuor time. High pay to be party of intellectuals and so forth. Now you know taxi drivers from America and so forth. No cost some back rumba. The catch is what I do university. About university for corners. These jokers came into this country, they stole from the state, and now they've gotten money talking nonsense on TV. Say, men are making sikana, men are making way. You see, they need to come down from the high horses. Arrogance, me say, in this space, our politics, in this space, our governance. Yeah, do you know why people become arrogant when they get political power? Yeah, they be a funny inferiority complex. When you don't believe in yourself, you think that you have nothing to offer.
Yeah.
You need external to hang on to become relevant. And Nipano on their own, he knows that he cannot compete. He has nothing to convince you. So Osikadie and as any other material thing coming back to complement and take care of those things he's lacking. And become so much arrogant to the sense that he's not even ready to listen to you again. When people lack wisdom and intelligence, they don't want to engage you in argument. So what they do is they become very vocal and very frontal. And the one in a can't say, Mukasamu come no makanyansa sema, he cannot survive. So I say I don't talk. And the growing up, Uko school as a teacher anyway, Timo, no Sane Mano, I beneath it in most of them. Because they have certain intellectual weakness. I don't even want students to get closer to expose them. It's the reason why when you will not even get close, they ward you off with that kind of behavior, that kind of aggression. And for me, the MPP, those ala nena se forum, ala minim se wajaye so besi baba and those other individuals, they need to take the center stage and rescue their party from these criminals and attention seekers. Because as long as the MPP continue to be in the hands of these jokers, trust me, the party will go nowhere. But the party need to come back, regroup, and at least act as a reasonable opposition. Criticizing, and for me, tell me what moral authority does the MPP as a political party have at this time to be talking the way they are talking? But this is a party while wrecking the foundations of this country. They've destroyed this country. The economy of this country was on the downward spiral. And then John Mahama by within 4 months was a wine. Look at how the dollar has been able to stabilize. What beside how is able to do this? Senka Baumiane MPP pension and Kadi we see ya and can lectures a hold on more organizing Ukrumano and Kenya the Ketua. But here we are once again. People are not even talking about it. The John Mahama is not even celebrating this particular feast, though. But it's a great achievement. What's me here? And the city. So for me, I think that we need to stay focused. These people are ready to learn their lessons. Arrogance and more power. That kind of unwitty decisions no make at the time. Is the same. Fighting for any dancer argument team. Now no catch out the Ghana Bar Association. Another group of people, they were just barking like dogs. They were not able to tell you what John Mahama has done wrong, and for that matter, no, that's what punish will be. But see, what will be at reasons. And you know, as you go back to what John Mahama has done. These are crazy bunch of individuals because you see the power to suspend or not to suspend Chief Justice, you know, the Constitution, the President okay, Article 146 down was or say it may establish a premier facility. Now say you set up a committee. The President has the power either to suspend or allow the Chief Justice. That is a discretionary injunction on the President, and only him alone. We are Ghana Bar Association. I was say on resign to me. One case I said damn the whole team because you should know law. That's what I'm telling you. So as a lawmaker, as a lawyer, you should not be talking like somebody who make coffin. Because no, you want to say fundaka. But as a lawyer, if you are talking like somebody, sabi own him way, you know very well that particular President alone. So why will you interfere? He can decide to or not to. But to say yeah, the name court because I exercise no chess, I say be a damn baby. That is why the association has become some kind of a political movement. So for me, I think that we need to focus and stick to the na yama Ghana for who say on mind baby edru no Ghana for your emotional gullible individual just do anything and get away and become way relevant. And Ghana for demonstration almost as you know. You see how they were treated. Nobody took them serious. You understand? So for me, I think that we really need to stay on track and make sure say near Ghana for deserve the omo panel. That is what we do.
All right. Listowel Ivan. I cut 10 minutes in Yapon. We have 10 minutes now. Can the man never be traffic? A crow could say, Mudi. Yamen Kwane and Boafo.
My and say, if we said your Mahama Bay, will be your freedom. It will be a Pia Bontin Kama.
Now the first uncle from P.
First, no Pia Bontia, Petro Boy better than Wapi. It's a man for Pakiomokas. Now I'm not joining for cars. Just so that they are able to move about. Okay. Contribute to another. Say, ya come one near top Petrebu. Innocent came one near top Petrebu. Now this week innocent at the Eberco. Next week now the airport. Next I'll bet you do. It is as I say no. No more but they say you will be to me to the car because petrol boaba from. Guswa air perform. Dollar ni see be a come. They say will be a yet more Ghana.
Oh, okay. Instead of traffic accident.
There is too much traffic. If you are not to here, I have spent more than 2 hours in traffic.
Wow.
From Adringano. That is a Kenyan John Mahama and say, yeah. To assume my idea, can
no theatre. Feel case of the JDM should reactivate the fast track court as soon as possible. This NPP joking thieves must be dealt with ruthlessly. Tracy Mensa was sister pepe. Okay, brother, so your time no the aka na yede ma we asa. Na edu Boahen let ya e fly ni sika baby o chiche ye bi kumi ye sure say we bi. So your comment on it na.
I really treated it with the contempt it deserves.
Okay.
Yes, because sebi mama check for yes money mo apasoni adwuma so awo na me chia me nua innocent. No so adwuma so awo ye. Akopon e manaso. Too intelligent and he deserves a lot. Until I knew that you were having a competent, very competent discussant. Until not just who in Yasa Miss.
There's a watobo.
Now, say a do boy he found Cassa or this canon crack on Mahama and or the year campaign by your president.
And
family. Till I tell you, we as canon. Answer the Ebechina Cotuno.
Yeah.
ata yi diskali bi bo akonhoma ma ne yire ne ne manya bi diye enti den make us NPP ni na adwene no ete said ye sebi enkola di agro wa nwemu a wa hwe abeka se bi a ase me mpe o mo asem ana o magimi tio wa bokro no ene atew ya tewa o se skalo kra mi wi aye me ma obidi wa kono wi o kono wi no o ko wi a counterfeit na de ko to wi we just say shop we just say mani sa e wa stand o to ye no e na wo ti ho na wo sisi ti wo sisi na police be che wo e na ma police ni so ntwe one row e na ono so twi bie o ko du court as court police ni kra no o twi bi na ka be na police ni na hu say e wi na wo no this is the question sikano where we are as to who you gave the money to we don't care court na kokasa asem kwase asem we koka kire judge na say judge no say na adwena to form say de na wa adwena ye say judge fo e wo Ghana ha because of tokonu omu nyina adwena bodam no ko na kokasa asem no court we no nyina no sometimes they give me a reason to believe why nyansa ni nimdie no difference ne so adwene nku ene nyansa nku na the case asem we dey bia for people to avert their minds to one thing say no wisdom they could have given any meaning to wisdom or given any term to wisdom than nyansa. If you don't have it you can't apply any form of bibia mani yeye se si ya yeti we se binim nyansa ebia asem bia meka no tra without recourse to cognitive thinking.
Yeah.
Common sense. Enti ne leto ni die yo. E ma ti say e no ma opposition parties.
Go some to machine be election coalition.
Opposition parties. They are part of the governance structure. You can democracy now.
Yeah.
A multi-party democracy. If they have been beneficiaries of it, show us the illegalities. Then it amounts to your charges. It increases your charges. If you know, say, giving monies to opposition parties is an illegality. It increases your charges. Did you bribe them? If it's a form of bribe, then it means that the one that took the bribe and the giver, they are both guilty.
Yeah.
If it's gifts, there was here about gifts. Say emremuno, I was say taxa. Maybe we can discuss that. But as far as I'm concerned, you were holding a public office. You have been discussed as an embezzler, a thief, a common thief. Your father, Professor Boahen, he was only known historically to have been the good professor. The good old professor died. And I didn't know he was training his sons to be thieves. Thieves. Ne baba ko de Afenyo say yes o mo ye ho aduma.
Finance ministry.
Serious.
Ne baba ko. E dey say osafuma ye kronfo, ne ma ya kronfo. Boahen ye kronfo, ne ma ya kronfo. Akufado ye kronfo, ne ma ya kronfo. Kenoforiata, ne ma ya kronfo, ono so ye kronfo. Bedi atuo ne ba ECG kronfo ono bedi atuo na mu kronfo Gabi same just say NPP no akoye to say a crime scene. Everything they just come about to do no akoye say no ye deputy bibia ye report money of after all ye property owning democracy. Ye property owning democracy nti ye de bibia ye bia no we should be averting our minds to only one thing: how do we own properties? And namna a conservative for the property owning your friend is a Democrats. Jake, no, just a buying sa semi a buy Japadia, and Ramitie, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Then you shut at me. No good leader would allow for ne subordinates say oh o manager pade e mon tonton na mon fa na me so mo bi onye sisi ya oba ya ni o ma kochiwi kese enra me hwe 120 days awadi now we share the conversation now. It's as if he's accounting for about 8 or 10 years stewardship.
Yeah.
And the accounts he's rendering, he is being very submissive to the core. Say he sees himself as a servant leader, and he or answerable to be bia or pledge here. Any the one pledge and so why?
Sure.
Or can the SCA about the other 2 years? Any baby akwako drew. This is leadership. And you say, across NPP, the idea about Bemwa. Yenu, ya the Calabule Council, bad report money off. The Abano, and what's what your crown post, Sebi by Yenka, he blocks a hood to Mahama ye to a so many pay. And then the second or the year, and then my melodina, eh, my mommy pa, Mamenciano, papa. Afi me no baby but yes you are all born and yes
so no you silent you ube shawa ube hu yes or commission
obi a oyo papa kra na ko kana bontia na ne bu
ai menim say yes is adult
on pesa o si we ma we ade ma we
man we yi hu
nti no why ade kra woda na se kra no nti mommy baby a wo bia me chia now so we share in the past now, the only thing that solved this whole problem. When who say enkofa dina koso na da ben yedi we be kokko da ben yedi we be. Oh, you say opre wo e pa wo sin amojaba. What you say? But your Mahama, or to say president kofo, and frama or the huhu padi a wonya. What the president kofo can say me some time ago, almost say enso share en fenipa, enso nyinu na fenipa. Na odi boko eguso edwa aboa tatia se ne be ya obetimi ayi ne nso enti de me hu ni say on rase enkoti because Professor Mills buy no not John Kofo careless adekum Kofo ofa kofi na wa makot ho no maye sandwich kama who dey asem kokota pa ne aboa to agu enti me ofanum kwesi o se je num na satam ne de na me tame ofanum aji pa na me nim se me ofanum na omo aya lebe kakranti ti wo se cases ne kokota ni abrosko
ni aboto agu
ema asabi num de nyina
ya e botugu yi
e che na Professor Minister say oh munya monka na omugya ma ne kai enu na NPP eba abemu biemu no omudi timu po bi ba say ye wi akora na we jo Mahama oba huntimi nye
yam pake court
with impunity no yenye de ebetimi na fe no se ko ba kra se na adwen sesa yam pake court no se ne be ya court no ya se nkoduru ho a omo ye yan nkofo a omo so ye no omo na committed crimes no because Akufo created a syndicate a Kronfo syndicate or the nebusuafo na yonkofo ena hyehyehye ba bia enti asamba sese ya in the case of Kisié Jaben Kisié Jaben ehye na adwuma ase no na gabi hey me nam de okotena ho ye careful ema Kisibu fu no ema ne ye se wo ye na adwuma unim say he was threatened at some point. His life was in danger. He's not able to tell all these things because sometimes he feels it's part of the hazards of the job, occupational hazards. His life was threatened 3 months to the election. Now he said that he had to flee out of town because omo pene kunu den sese ya kase nyame na ya adu na bai fofra ba ka Kisié Jaben bi akwa lose in life obi ti ba bia na adwen ye ne se na Kisié Jaben wonya adwuma. How can you work as obi a wokoche Kronfo e we Akufo Addo when he the president is was a thief? The one that you are working for no is the thief, and he has some other syndicates. How could you have worked under Akufo Addo? Mahama baye mo Kisié Jaben adu awobo more than a silent killer. Say you are so well prepared or in a juma. And amafo nya botre me say first na me pon call pentem seriously say gade chin ya nka John Mahama nya o mukura mu street mu ne mo bo mo papa o ma no ewia ne apam mo akobu nsawe because from for there uti na bo ne yebo no yeso so John Mahama ma hu say ewia se de nyansa ene ye bibia
all right
ene nimdie
akai 1 minute
manu sie no mo ma ye nyina nya abotre me de afutuo ne beba se ye nyina mo ye nya abotre John Mahama enya dia
na abotre no ye duru ba bi anhwa ye nya bi mu
oh yes but say no enya duru ba bi e wo say ye nya abotre mo ye nya abotre John Mahama me te say so obey bibi e friend national tribunal
okay
e ho no ye du ko gina ho a na atu nu nya no because sebi oral over 2000 petitions akọ oral nim a wabo e chama eye attorney general the able and most learned abi before ya no mu dwa o manum no mo kasa no mo ye yi mu wo bi a oye doctor te say doctor Yenia o ni mu mra mo fa ni me kire so an koto certificate ni podia abi bi lawyer nyina he o mo koye demonstration o mo certificate o mo toye o man go school it is law no mo nim all they know is the judge they have always relied on the judge enuntina hwenipa domo a o mo ema omo appointment ansa no mu fra ba mu illegally no ye yi sankofo bebrebe na di no ade no man koye ho demonstration between sankofo bebrebe na ye yi o ma di no so omo do omo party ma na omo pe omo asem a ade na no man nya ho demonstration na tokonu ba akopɛ ya wono wodi ne sa akobo aban sika mu di ni from the sesa bi ma point ni nyankopɔ efa ne kra ensie abomu aneti no yesa
all right
eti no medimanu si na ma ahobrasie mu na no krobia di na woda na sene krobia di awoda ne fefefe no na na nyankwada nyakopɔ entuni nkwandem na sebi ye nya ne somfa so se de o man nya ne da
okay
matese yese o si me kotina fidie so Mahama ohene afishiapa nti me ka asisu bia wa fidie edu kuma ase edu menhia me bra na ahemfo mienu bi frefre me se my late me ka no
o message kura wa ha
nti me gina afidike sie so na ahema maso nan e de enkrato akọ krobia hemfie na mama no na nyankwada na nakopon emma ne nkwatenten se ne be ya ye benya ne somfa so bebre odin fie wo ha na me anya de wo so ma ne di ohane akire se ne be ya ye benya ne somfa so fie bebre wonanimu a wo se bi yetimi edi nya ne somfa so nti ohene na no pay me gidi se wa fidie da ha mawo awoda pa na watwi nyina edidi wa awoda eno no eye worlds otufo
hey, the week wow. Okay, but me da se papa.